Good evening, everyone. I'm Roger Stone, sitting in for Lou Dobbs. Lou is taking the night off. We begin with President Joe Biden's shocking, hate-filled, red-hot State of the Union speech last night. There's never been more a divisive man to stand behind the podium in front of the Congress to lecture and scold the American people. We'll show you some of Biden's worst, to my opinion, most disgraceful moments from last night's speech. But first, we begin with the most interesting moment of the evening, which actually took place even before the speech began. Here's Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia challenging Joe Biden to say the name of slain Laken Riley. Laken Riley, as you know, is the young Georgia nursing student who was beaten to death by a violent illegal immigrant thug who was allowed into this country largely because of the policies of Joe Biden. Here's Congresswoman MTG.
I know how to say the name.
Laken Riley. Say your name, Mr. President.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. President. Leader Holly.
Biden hardly touched on the issue of immigration in his speech. It took him almost an hour to do so. And when he finally did bring it up, he blamed, big surprise, the Republicans and, by inference, Donald Trump. But Congresswoman Greene wasn't having any of it. Take a look at this.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really. Laken Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we change the dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing. And it's worth taking the chance of the $8,000. But if it's only 6 weeks, the idea is it's highly unlikely that people will pay that money and come all that way, knowing that they'll be able to be kicked out quickly.
Of course, Biden couldn't even pronounce Laken Riley's name. He called her Lincoln Riley. From the very moment Joe Biden stepped into the White House, he's opened the floodgates of our southern border to millions of illegal immigrants from all over the third world. He revoked dozens of executive orders put in place by President Donald Trump that helped secure our border. Yet Biden had the gall to yet again blame Republicans for the invasion that he himself empowered. Throughout his entire speech, Biden couldn't stop referring to Trump. He was afraid to actually say his name. He just kept repeatedly referring to him as my predecessor. Here's one example.
America stood strong and democracy prevailed. We must be honest. The threat to democracy must be defended. My predecessor and some of you here seek to bury the truth about January 6th. I will not do that. This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies. Here's the simple truth. You can't love your country only when you win.
Of course, like everything else Joe Biden said last night, that was a complete lie. From the moment he entered politics, Donald Trump, who I've known for 45 years, has done nothing but fight to make America great again. Why is he doing this? Why is he putting himself back on the line? It's very simple. Because he loves his country. One of the most shocking moments of the speech last night was when Joe Biden actually threatened the U.S. Supreme Court. with the justices sitting right in front of him. Take a look.
Many of you in this chamber and my predecessor are promising to pass a national ban on reproductive freedom. My God, what freedom else would you take away? Look, it's a decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court majority wrote the following, and with all due respect, justices, women are not without electoral power. Electoral or political power. You're about to realize just how much you were right about that. Clearly. Those bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade have no clue about the power of women. But they found out when reproductive freedom was on the ballot. We won in 2022 and 2020, and we'll win again in 2024. If you, the American people, send me a Congress that supports the right to choose, I promise you, I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
That was a campaign rally speech. That wasn't a State of the Union speech. So the man who spent his entire presidency lecturing America about democracy threatened a co-equal branch of government in his State of the Union last night. The media, of course, are praising Biden's speech as energetic and fiery, but make no mistake about it. That was anger, bitterness, and hatred. Joe Biden knows his chances at re-election have never been worse. That right now, he realizes that the corruption and the impact of his policies have him in deep political trouble. That's why he's so angry, and he's lashing out at you, the American people. He'll continue to do that right up from now until November. So if you dare to oppose Joe Biden or even challenge him, well, you'll be targeted by the full force of the federal law as administered by Joe Biden. That's what happened to Gold Star dad Steve Nakouli last night. Nakouli lost his son, Kareem, at the Abbey Gate Air Force Base in Afghanistan. You'll remember this was during Biden's disastrous withdrawal, in which 3 U.S. service members were killed at the airport. Here's Mr. Nakouli last night.
And America is safer today than when I took office. The year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up.
And now, for doing that, for saying that, for calling out the crime and challenging Biden's lies, Mr. Nakouli has been arrested after the speech. The Capitol Police arrested him for crowding and obstructing. Well, that's Joe Biden's America. You see, dissent is just no longer allowed. Joining me now to react to President Biden's speech is Congressman Andrew Clyde of Georgia. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us on Lou Dobbs Tonight.
Well, thank you, Roger. Great to be with you this evening.
You know, I remember a time when presidential State of the Union speeches were uplifting, were inspirational, where the president gave an honest assessment of where the country was, where he thought we were doing well, where he thought we could do better. They were bipartisan. That doesn't seem to be the case last night, does it?
No, it was not, and I was very disappointed in it last night. It was probably definitely the most partisan speech I have ever heard. It sounded more like a campaign speech than a State of the Union speech. It was all the standard Democrat talking points, and I felt like I was being yelled at by an angry old man for about an hour.
Yeah, tone is very important in these things, and the president seemed unhinged. I mean, yelling at the crowd. And I checked today, never before in the history of the country Has any president, in giving their State of the Union speech, actually referred to their predecessor, not by name and not by inference? But last night, Joe Biden made reference to Donald Trump no fewer than 19 times.
Well, I think that's because his poll numbers are in the tank right now, and for good reason. We have the number one crisis being the border crisis that he didn't even address until almost an hour into his speech, and then he blamed it on Republicans. You know, he has the authority right now with the stroke of the pen. He has the same authority as Donald Trump has. He could close the border. He could stop illegal immigration. He could stop the violence being perpetrated on American citizens by illegal alien criminals. He could do all of that, but he refuses to.
Yeah, it's really quite amazing, this idea of somehow blaming Trump and the Republicans for our border crisis, which has caused the fentanyl crisis, the crime crisis, the fiscal crisis that the country is facing. Personally, I don't think the American people are buying it. Now, Alabama Senator Katie Britt delivered the Republican response last night, and the left is really going after her. I frankly thought her remarks were a little understated. What did you think?
Well, I'll tell you that I thought she did a pretty good job of it in couching for the American people the way that we felt in response to his State of the Union. I mean, I think she took him point by point and she eviscerated his speech. And I think the American people are right on board with that.
Yeah, they seem to have this almost exactly backwards. In other words, I guess I would argue the people who are trying to keep Donald Trump off the ballot, they're the ones who are anti-democratic. The people who are trying to lock up the leading candidate for president of the opposition party, they're the ones who are anti-democratic. The people who are dipping into the 702 database to spy on Americans or surveilling 178,000 Americans without warrants, I would say that that's anti-democratic. And then, of course, thank God for the Supreme Court, but the people who are trying to keep Donald Trump off the ballot so we can't have a fair, honest election, I'd say they're the ones who are anti-democratic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he talked down to the Supreme Court last night. I was very surprised at that. But if you look at their ruling, a 9-0 ruling in saying that, I'm sorry, states, you may not remove a presidential candidate from the ballot. You don't have the authority to do that. And yet he talked down to the Supreme Court, basically condemning them for that decision without exactly saying so. And that's just an affront to the separation of powers here. And it was a disgrace, honestly, to hear that from the President of the United States with the Supreme Court sitting directly in front of him. I mean, it was unhinged, as you said, by the president.
Yeah, it reminds me of when Chuck Schumer basically threatened Judge Kavanaugh and the other justices saying that they would capture the wind over the Roe v. Wade decision. Of course, nobody criticized him. The only time Republicans spoke up for the American people was over the harm Biden has imposed through his illegal immigration agenda. The Marxist Democrats, as usual, whining constantly about Republicans being a threat to democracy when they are the threat to democracy. Go ahead, Mike.
And we have felt that threat by the criminal illegal aliens. You know, my hometown of Athens, Georgia, is where Laken Riley was brutally murdered by an illegal alien. So that really has come home to us. And last night, when he couldn't even properly pronounce her name and called her Lincoln Riley, it was a disgrace. That issue of criminal conduct from illegal aliens perpetrated against American citizens, making American citizens victims of this illegal onslaught that Joe Biden has invited. I mean, during his campaigning in 2020, he told the illegals, surge the border. And that's exactly what they have been doing, and he has been promoting it. This is a crisis of epic proportions that he is responsible for, and he did not take any accountability for it last night.
Of course, last night he delved into the Democrats' usual tactic of class warfare, blaming the top 1% in America for our economic woes. He vowed to make them pay their fair share, but Hunter Biden never paid his fair share. I get this a lot. He failed to declare $10 million in income. My wife and I declared every single penny. We simply couldn't pay, having been bankrupted by the Mueller investigation. I made 6 years of payments without ever missing a payment until they bankrupted me. They give me no break on interest or penalties, Congressman. I'll be paying the IRS every month on time for the rest of my life. So what did you think of America's enemies take away from Joe Biden's speech? They look at America, they see the speech. What do you think the Russians?
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our My Pillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Pillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from My Pillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Welcome back. I'm Roger Stone, sitting in for Lou Dobbs. Lou is taking the night off. Joe Biden delivered his rage-filled State of the Union address last night, or should we say what was supposed to be a State of the Union address. In reality, Joe Biden used his time as a massive negative campaign rally. It was his desperate attempt to boost his flagging re-election chances. Even CNN noticed the unprecedented negative and harsh tone of Biden's speech. Take a listen.
This is the 36th of these for me, State of the Unions or presidential addresses at the beginning, first one being 1989. Never heard one so political. Never heard one that is such a campaign speech.
Biden's only real accomplishment was making it through the entire speech without nodding off or actually falling down. Here's Chuck Schumer celebrating Biden getting through the basic function of his job without collapsing.
Before the address, White House officials were previewing all the energy that President Biden would show. After the speech, the Democratic reviews were all about the energy that President Biden showed in the speech. Why is it so important to point out the energy?
Well, it's infectious. I walked into that room. I've been to a whole lot of these speeches, but I was so excited by how Biden presented himself and what he said. The speech showed that America is strong and Biden is strong. And anyone who sat in that room would have no doubt that Biden is ready for a great second campaign and even more, a great second term. He was filled with focus and enthusiasm.
Yeah, I bet Chuck Schumer was really excited. Almost every headline called out Biden's speech as defiant and fiery. And as we told you before, Biden used the podium to go after Trump again and again. See, he never actually said Trump's name. Instead, he chose to use the term "my predecessor" a total of actually 13 times. The first time, by the way, any president has ever mentioned his predecessor in any State of the Union speech. But you know, what Joe Biden didn't mention last night, well, gas prices, inflation, deporting illegals, his son's epic corruption, attacks on pregnancy centers, the real issues that America cares about. The list, of course, goes on and on. So despite the Marxist media fanning, the question really is, are the American people going to buy into this garbage that Joe Biden was spewing last night? Now let's bring in the president of Project Sentinel, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, to help us break this down. Tony, welcome to Lou Dobbs Tonight.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
Great to have you. So what do you think America's enemies took away from Joe Biden's speech last night? I mean, if you're the Koreans, the North Koreans, the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians, how would you feel after watching that performance?
Well, I don't think anybody's going to mistake him for FDR. And he tried to make the claim, Roger, that he's a wartime president in the image of FDR. It was quite atrocious. And if you just examine his performance art, the performance was horrible. And if our adversaries were watching, which I'm sure they were, they saw him demonize half of the U.S. public. Think about that, Roger. He's actually said publicly in this supposed speech where we're supposed to talk about how we are unified, how he literally hates anybody who disagrees with his idea that Ukraine should be the 51st state of the United States. That's how bad it was. And he ignored real threats regarding China. He said we should compete, not essentially find a way to stop them from expanding their influence and dominance at the Pacific Rim. He actually ignored Iran and the Houthi. The fact that they, through the Biden administration, through enriching Iran, has been funding both sides of the conflict in the Red Sea. We pay the Iranians, they pay the Houthi. We actually then organize our U.S. Navy to go, face them off. We're paying for both sides. All these things were completely ignored, and everything he projected, Roger, was more government influence and control the economy. He wants to pay for daycare. He wants to pay for senior care. He wants to pay for illegal immigration. Frankly, the bill he talked about, that's all he wants to do is harden through U.S. law the illegal activities he and his administration are now conducting to bring in these aliens. So, in short, it was atrocious. It was hateful, and it had nothing to do with representing the interests or the culture of the United States.
No, you're exactly right. The bill that he was touting, the so-called Schumer-Lankford bill, would have allowed 5,000 illegals a day. That's about 155,000 a month. That's about 2 million a year. So that's not a border security bill. That's an open borders bill. Several government agency websites, including the DHS, Secret Service, and ICE, were down for about 20 minutes during Biden's address. No specific reason given for that outage, but the timing during the State of the Union is curious. What do you make of that?
It was a message, Roger. No government website would go down at the direction of that government agency during the State of the Union. Think about this. They've tried to say, oh, there was maintenance. There was no maintenance. This was clearly meant to be a message by someone. Now, who that is? Was it the Iranians? Was it the North Koreans? Was it the Chinese? We don't actually know. But someone purposely embedded some sort of software within those systems to on call. And think about it. These are all the government agencies which are supposed to be engaged in providing security to the people of the United States. This was meant to send a message. And again, Biden didn't mention once about the growing cyber capabilities of the Chinese. TikTok is a weapon. The economic power of China is a weapon. Cyber operations are a weapon. And yet somehow we're supposed to believe Ukraine is the primary thing we should be investing American taxpayer dollars in to invest in our security. It was completely insane.
Now, Tony, the father of a U.S. Marine killed in the 2021 Kabul airport bombing was arrested yesterday for disrupting President Biden's State of the Union speech. This gentleman, the father of Marine Lance Corporal Kareem Nicole, I think I have that right, was the guest of Congressman Brian Mast in Florida. He yelled at the president to abdicate and United States Marines in a reference to that bombing. The Capitol Hill police have arrested him and announced the intention to prosecute him. Evidently, Speaker Johnson is trying to get him released. He's looking at an enormous fine and 90 days in prison. What are your thoughts?
So it's okay, apparently, to have free speech as long as that free speech is something Biden agrees with. But the moment you cross him, you become an enemy. And this father had every right, Roger, to speak out and say with clear terms that America is not more secure. And that's when this father spoke out, when Joe Biden made the outrageous and unsupported claim that we are safer now under his watch than under Trump. It was beyond insane. I think he had every right to speak out. But more importantly, the people who were materially responsible for the death of his son were in that room, Joe Biden and Lloyd Austin. Lloyd Austin was the man, the Secretary of Defense, who, by the way, I served and worked under his command when he was a brigadier general back in 2003 and 2004. Lloyd Austin was the Secretary of Defense who oversaw the debacle that became the fall of Kabul, the fall of Afghanistan. And unfortunately, this man's son was caught up in that incompetence, and nobody's been held to account. That father had every right to point that out.
A terrible, terrible tragedy. All right, I'm afraid we're out of time. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, thank you so much for joining us on Lou Dobbs
Thank you, Roger.
Tonight.
Thank you.
Biden continues to lie about his record on immigration. The issue is now at the forefront of voters' minds. More coming up next.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50%, and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Welcome back. I'm Roger Stone, sitting in for Lou Dobbs. Lou has the night off. President Biden is traveling to Philadelphia today after delivering a divisive, overheated State of the Union speech last night. Philadelphia, an already crime-ridden city, has witnessed an escalation in gun violence, including a shooting recently where 8 teens were shot as they waited to board a city bus. One of those teens is currently in critical condition. What American can survive much longer under this Democratic rule? It's turned our cities into war zones, and the border is now a lawless badland. The House passed the Laken-Riley bill yesterday. It's named after the nursing student who was murdered by an illegal immigrant in Georgia. Riley's killer had been arrested for shoplifting back in October, and police gave him a citation, and then they let him go. 3 months later, he allegedly ambushed Riley while she was out jogging, beat her to death, and dumped her body in the woods. The Riley Act requires the detention of migrants who committed burglary or theft. It's a joke that we even need legislation like this, but America is currently run by the biggest joke of them all, Joe Biden. Biden butchered Laken-Riley's name last night during the State of the Union address. Here, watch.
I'd be a winner. Not really. Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand.
Well, at least he admitted that one of the illegals that he himself led into the country killed Laken-Riley. In fact, Biden's handling of the entire border has been so bad that he's trying to completely rewrite the record. Biden claimed last night and has been saying for weeks that he backed one of the toughest border bills in recent history. Watch.
In November, my team began serious negotiation with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen.
Listen to Biden's attempt to blame Republicans for the current state of our border.
I would respectfully suggest my Republican friends owe it to the American people, get this bill done. We need to act now.
If you feel like you're going crazy watching that, no, you're really still in your right mind. Biden's job is to convince you that up is down, dark is light, and nothing you're seeing with your own eyes is true. Now let's bring in Senior Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, Mike Gonzalez. He's also the author of a forthcoming great new book, Next Gen Marxism, What It Is and How to Combat It. Mike, welcome to the Lou Dobbs Tonight.
Hey, Roger. Thanks a lot for having me on.
So I'm very excited about your new book. I'm not very excited about what's happening to this country. Tell us about your book, not only the premise of it, but what Americans should be doing to fight what is really, I think, the active destruction of our country.
It is the active and planned destruction of our country. One of the things that the fact checkers are fact-checking President Biden in his speech last night was this idea that President Trump, there was an insurrection on January 6th. And of course, if you go to the U.S. Code, insurrection is a planned rebellion against the authority of the United States. And that much more applies to what BLM tried to do to the country in 2020 when we had over 600 riots. Well over 600 riots. One of the things that my co-author and I, Catherine Gorka, do in our book is we devote an entire chapter to describe how a whole web, an international leftist web, planned, plotted, and abetted the inception of this leftist group in this country, these cultural Marxists, who went on to create Black Lives Matter and plot to overthrow how we're constituted. So Americans are fighting back against this. We're having an event at the Heritage Foundation next Wednesday to talk about how we actually are making inroads against DEI and CRT and all the other practices of these cultural Marxists. But Americans need help. They need help from their political leaders. They need help from journalists such as Aaron Sibarium of the Washington Free Beacon, who's going to be one of our speakers. They need help from activists and people such as you who talk about these issues.
Well, there's no question that America faces the greatest crisis in its history. See, I no longer see this as a struggle between Republicans and Democrats or between liberals and conservatives. I don't even see it in partisan terms. Politically, we have a uniparty. It is they have one view. It is a view committed to endless war and open borders. And then there are outsiders such as, well, President Donald Trump. You served as a member of his 1776 commission. He is an existential threat to the established order. He's an existential threat to the status quo. Yet their monopoly on at least legacy media continues to recycle the same lies. Here's the most amazing thing about the American left. It doesn't matter how debunked, disproved, or discredited any of their BS is, just wait a few weeks and they'll be right back to recycling it all over again. Well, we're already beginning to see Russia. People point me to the 2020 U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee report on Russian collusion, and I can tell you that it's bunk. Every single reference to me, for example, in that report, I think was cut and pasted out of the Huffington Post. But they're right back to it, aren't they? In other words, get ready for the Russian interference in our next election. From my point of view, to the extent that there's interference in our next election, it's going on right now. It's going on in the courts in D.C., in Florida, in Georgia, and in New York. I believe that's the real election interference.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And look, the biggest threat, as you know, it will be to the permanent state, to the administrative state. Trump if he is reelected again, will come in, and there will be enormous pressure on him from conservatives such as me and conservative groups to do something about the permanent state, about the administrative state. There are hundreds of thousands of Americans who are good bureaucrats, who are very good civil servants, but there's a percentage, perhaps not a majority, a percentage that will try to subvert conservative policymaking, will try to stymie conservative policymaking, and will try to sabotage. That already happened in Trump's first 4 years. It happened when I was in government in the Bush administration. I saw it myself, and something serious has to be done about this. As you know, Heritage is leading an effort called the Project 2025, which one of the main elements of Project 2025 is doing something about the administrative state, making sure that the people who make policy are not career officials, but political appointees who work at will and can be hired or fired by the executive branch.
One of the most impressive things to me right now is the nakedness of the effort to rewrite the entire narrative about our southern border. I mean, the truth of the matter is that the bill that Biden keeps pushing as having been ideal, the bill that he kept insisting Republicans opposed to try to keep this alive as an issue, the so-called Schumer-Lankford bill, had substantial funding for the war in Ukraine, substantial funding for Israel, substantial funding for Taiwan, but it also included money allocated towards the border, but not to seal the border, but to more efficiently process those who were coming into the country illegally. And it locked the country into 5,000 illegals a day. That's about 155,000 a month and almost 2 million a year. I called it an open borders bill, not a border security bill. Now they're trying to flip the script and saying all of the problems on our southern border are caused by Donald Trump and Republicans. I can't imagine the American people buying that. Can you?
No, not really. And Biden tried to do some of this last night when he called that bill the toughest border, immigration bill ever. No, what that bill did, as you well put it, is it codified the bad things that Biden has done through executive action, such as expanding parole beyond all reasonable definitions. Parole used to be used for very limited cases, and now they have anybody who comes in, as Alejandro Mayorkas himself said, 85% of the people who come in and ask for asylum are paroled into the country and are given many years in this country before they have to face a court, to face a judge. I thought it was really astonishing that President Biden last night said he himself brought that up because they can't avoid it anymore, and said it was the fault of Congress. No, he did these things, as you know, Roger. He issued many executive orders, God knows why, on doing all the things that Trump had done in his 4 years to stop the border from being wide open. Biden himself during the campaign, you can go back, anybody can go back and look at this. He said he wanted to see a rush to the border. And indeed, this is what we have seen. The estimates are that perhaps 10 million people have come in, which is larger than the population of 34 states. So no, this idea of this trying to flip the narrative now and saying, no, this is not our fault. I don't think this can wash.
Yeah, and actually, Mike, I have to be honest with you, I think that 10 million number is low. Some experts I know think it is woefully low. All right, sadly, we are out of time. I want to thank Mike Gonzalez, Senior Fellow at the Heritage Foundation. And Mike, I want to wish you the very best of luck with your important new book, Next Gen Marxism. Thank you so much for joining us on Lou Dobbs Tonight.
Thank you, Roger.
Coming up, Donald Trump issued a terrific response to Joe Biden's State of the Union address. We're going to share it with you coming up next.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50%, and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Welcome back. I'm Roger Stone, sitting in for Lou Dobbs. Lou has the night off. President Donald Trump was watching Joe Biden's State of the Union address last night, and he was actually conducting a play-by-play on his social media app, Truth Social. Now, in true Trump fashion, his commentary was entertaining, pungent, and it was an event in itself. President Trump wrote that Biden's speech was angry, polarizing, and hate-filled, and he barely mentioned immigration or the worst border crisis in the history of the world. Trump also was truthing that there was no, quote, talk of weaponization against his very calm and nice opponent, angry as hell. This guy, Biden, is a psycho, said the former president. So it's safe to say that Trump probably gave Biden an F for last night's speech. Joining me now to further grade the president's State of the Union address is Mike McCormick. He is a former White House stenographer for Presidents Bush, Obama, and Trump, and the author of a new book, The Case to Impeach and Imprison Joe Biden. Mike McCormick joins us now.
Hey, Roger, how you doing?
Mike, thanks for joining us. I'm sure you checked out the president's State of the Union address. What did you think?
Well, top line, every time I talk about Joe Biden, I start with telling people he's a criminal. So to me, that was a gigantic cover-up speech to divert attention away from the investigation into him and his son that's being conducted by the Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee in Congress. And then there's what President Trump was saying, the crisis on the southern border. And as I wrote in my book, Joe Biden was partially responsible for that by giving aid and comfort to the cartels. He committed treason on the southern border through his Alliance for Prosperity program, which he instituted in 2014, 2015, and 2016. He gave $500 million to cartel-connected politicians in Honduras, knowing that they were smuggling drugs into the United States by the ton. So Joe Biden did nothing last night but cover for his crimes.
Well, Mike, you've outlined the Biden business schemes pretty well there. There's a lot more to it, as we know. Do you expect anything to come of the Hunter Biden investigations? I mean, we seem to have a two-tiered justice system here. Paul Manafort goes to prison for failing to file a Foreign Agents Registration Act when he actually didn't represent Ukraine. Yet Hunter Biden seems to be doing the work of Romania, Russia, China, Ukraine. He never filed. Is anything ever going to come of this?
You know, I've petitioned, I've submitted my book to U.S. Attorney Leo Wise, who works for Special Counsel David Weiss, to tell him I could be a witness in front of your grand jury that's investigating Hunter Biden. I would connect Joe Biden to Hunter Biden's activities. I don't hear back from them. So this is two-tiered justice. Joe Biden's Department of Justice is shutting down what I know to be crimes that Joe Biden committed. And I prove that in my book. Then there's the congressional investigation. I've had an informal interview with congressional investigators with the House Oversight Committee. They don't want to have me come down and talk to them because some of the things I told them are especially bombastic about what Joe Biden did in Ukraine as a kickback scheme with a company called Metabiota. He did two kickback schemes in the Ukraine. One was Burisma. The other was with Metabiota. Metabiota is affiliated with, it's a biotech. They do biodefense, and they were contracted into doing work with the biolabs that actually Vladimir Putin complained the U.S. was setting up in Georgia, Republic of Georgia, and Ukraine.
So there's also a report out on one Chinese energy giant, a company called CEFC, Dr. Patrick Ho, sending a letter to Hunter Biden's attorney, Abby Lowell. Ho demanded that Hunter pay back over $1 million he gave to Hunter Biden for so-called legal services. Do you know much about that?
Well, Hunter Biden started that CEFC affiliation on a trip he took to Beijing in 2013. And in his testimony, he couldn't remember if it was 2013 or 2014, but I was there. It was 2013. And that's when he started this alignment with CEFC. And he didn't do any work for him. And he billed him $1 million, and now they're saying, we want our money back. To me, it sounds like the Chinese, and this CEFC is aligned with the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP. It sounds like they want their money back, and they want people to know we're not in, the Bidens aren't in our pocket anymore. They're trying to sort of separate themselves from what they see is a failing presidency that's going to get overturned in the 2024 election.
Well, and as I understand it, Hunter Biden took his equity stake in that company, CEFC, and rather dispose of it, he transferred it to one of his lawyers, Kevin Morris, who's also kind of his sugar daddy, the guy who stepped in and paid his $2 million in past due taxes. House Judiciary Chairman James Comer has invited Hunter Biden back to Capitol Hill for a public hearing. Do you think Hunter is going to show up?
Well, he's supposed to testify alongside his pal, Devin Archer, Devin Archer was on the board of Burisma with them. Devon Archer was a fellow investor in this metabiotic company with him. Devon Archer knows where the skeletons are buried. So these oversight committee and the judiciary committee, in their questioning of them, they may get to the bottom of it. They're going to sit them side by side with Tony Bobulinski, who was working with the Bidens in 2017. That was after Joe was out of office. And he's the one who came out with the very, widely used phrase, 10% for the big guy. He confirmed that. And then there's another guy named Galanis who was working alongside Archer and Hunter in the scam they ran on the Indian tribes in the Sioux Indian tribes. So they're going to sit side by side, and we'll see, how the questioning goes if Hunter can handle the hot seat near his criminal co-conspirators. One of them is in jail. Galanis is in jail right now, and Bobulinski is accusing him. And Hunter doesn't have good feelings for Bobulinski, and the feeling's mutual. So it'll be quite a high energy, high confrontation discussion there in the House of Representatives.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. Mike McCormick, let me thank you for joining us on Lou Dobbs Tonight.
Thanks, Roger.
Thanks for being with us. Lou will be back next Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern. That's 6 o'clock Central. Next, the Lindell Report. You're not going to want to miss that. In the meantime, God bless you, good night, and good cheer.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50%, and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What concept? I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you get our 6-piece My $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The MyPillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, MyPillow 2.0. When I invented MyPillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. MyPillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature-regulating thread. MyPillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of MyPillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our My Pillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Pillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our My Pillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Pillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our My Pillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from My Pillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our My Pillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Pillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
It costs the drug companies roughly $10 a vial to make that insulin. Let's cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month. Let's cap the cost of insulin for everybody at $35. I want to cap the cost of insulin $35 a month for every American who needs it. We'll build a national network of 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations. We're going to build 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations. The IBEW work is building and installing 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations. We'd all agree that the present tax system ain't fair. The tax system is not fair. It is not fair. Does anybody really think the tax code is fair? 55 of the Fortune 500 companies earned $40 billion in profit and paid zero in federal taxes. 55 of the largest corporations in America, the Fortune 500, made $40 billion in profits and paid zero in federal taxes. 55 of the biggest companies in America made $40 billion and paid zero in federal income tax. Zero. So basically, ban targeted advertising to children. Ban targeted advertising to children. And under my plan, nobody, let me say this again, nobody earning less than $400,000 a year will pay an additional penny in new taxes. Not a single penny. Under my plans, as long as I'm president, nobody earning less than $400,000 will pay an additional penny in taxes. Nobody, not one penny. Nobody earning less than $400,000 a year will pay an additional penny in federal taxes. Nobody, not one penny. Well, let's make corporations and wealthy Americans start paying their fair share.
It's unbelievable,
by making
right?
sure that the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share. By making big corporations very wealthy, finally beginning to pay their fair share. The watchdogs are back. The watchdogs are back. ban assault weapons with high-capacity magazines will up to 100 rounds. Ban assault weapons now. Ban them now. I'm demanding a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. Children were also struggling before the pandemic. Bullying, violence, trauma. When millions of young people are struggling with bullying, violence, trauma, we need to secure our border and fix the immigration system. At least pass my plan to provide the equipment and officers to secure the border. I introduced a comprehensive bill to fix our immigration system, secure the border, provide a pathway to citizenship for dreamers, and a pathway to citizenship for dreamers. Provide a pathway to citizenship for dreamers. Let's finally get the Bipartisan Equality Act. Let's also pass the Bipartisan Equality Act. Pass the Equality Act. It's never been a good bet to bet against the American people. It's never, ever been a good bet to bet against America. Never. Let's end cancer as we know it. Let's end cancer as we know it. Like end cancer as we know it. I've come to report on the state of the nation, the state of the union. And my report is this. The state of the union is strong because you, the American people, are strong. The state of the union is strong.
Come on, sit down.
Tonight, we can proudly say the state of our union is strong and getting stronger.
Wow.
There you go.
That is, I guess, from Dilly.
I guess so.
That was impressive.
You don't realize it when you're watching it, right?
Yeah.
No.
But when you look back, it's pretty much the same.
It's the same
angry ogre
rehash.
speech.
Carbon copy.
Yeah. He's ripping himself off.
Who writes that?
Yeah, he's plagiarizing himself, basically, yeah. We know that's what he does.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That is, wow.
It is.
You know what? And that kind of crap is written for him.
Exactly.
So they must have been like, look,
we can't
deviate because he'll screw it all up. Because remember, last night everybody's like, oh, they're describing it as a fiery speech. He came out swinging and blah blah blah. You hear all the pundits talk about that. It's like, no, that's because the bar was so low.
Yeah,
they were just happy he made it. It's like get through an hour.
He didn't die.
Right, get through an hour. Get through. You saw they were pulling for him. Get through an hour. You can do it. You can. I'm sure they got the red light. They do that to comedians to kind of wrap it up. They probably hit the red light like you made it. And he was probably like, yeah. And that's when he started yelling at us again. There's nothing we can't do.
You know, as much as last night, I just couldn't believe the yelling. When you look back at that 5-minute clip, he did a lot of yelling in the previous years, too.
Yeah.
Not as much as last night. Last night was just off the rails. Completely, totally off the rails. And I'm sorry, but I haven't changed my feeling on the Republican response either.
Oh, my goodness. I had to go home early because of that. Not because of that, because I had to go to work, so I didn't catch the rest of it. But I didn't get to hear how it finished out.
No,
and there was people.
You didn't miss much.
There was people that were saying, "Oh, well, no, actually, no, it's actually pretty good because President Trump said that she did a good job." And I thought, well, that's fine that he thought she did a good job. He's entitled to have an opinion on it, but we all watched it. We know what it looked like and sounded like. We all watched it. Just because he said good job, she did a good job, doesn't make it universally correct for everybody. We watched it. It was terrible, given the situation. Now, maybe in another time, another place, another year, that would have been great.
Yeah, and if it was only 3 minutes long.
But last night, that was not what we were, at least for me, what I was looking for in a response from the Republican Party. All right, just getting started on a Friday night. Sports and news coming up. Some other people's thoughts on last night.
Shop for supplements at Vitamin Shop? Force Factor products powerfully improve your health, but they're also delicious, easy to use, and affordable. That's why Force Factor is Vitamin Shop's best brand of the year. Unleash your potential with Force Factor at Vitamin Shop.
We get it. Learning something new is hard, especially a new language. So make it easy on yourself with Babbel, the language learning app that teaches real-world conversation for any situation. Babbel is more than vocab memorization. It teaches practical phrases you'll actually use. Say auf Wiedersehen to I give up, au revoir to it's too hard, and hola to real conversations with real people in a new language. Ready to find your follow-through? Get Babbel. It starts here. Start learning today at Babbel.com.
It's about the truth. It's about a fair playing field and fair opportunities.
I know that I'm not the only girl who has missed out on opportunities. There are countless other girls.
It's about biological reality and common sense. And ultimately, it's about the rights of women being trampled.
It's not just that girls are able to compete in athletics, it's that girls are able to go to college. If I didn't have the scholarship I had, I wouldn't be going to the school I'm going to.
Rewriting our laws to ignore the truth of what it means to be male and female has consequences beyond a single issue. Female athletes, parents, healthcare providers are under threat by institutions enforcing this radical gender ideology.
When biological differences between men and women are ignored, it is women who suffer the most. Alliance Defending Freedom is leading the fight to protect women's sports, but to continue, we need the help of friends like you. For just $19 a month, you can join ADF's Frontline for Freedom. As a Frontline for Freedom partner, your $19 monthly gift will help Alliance Defending Freedom continue to protect the rights and opportunities of women and girls.
It's highly upsetting to realize that no matter how hard we train and how hard we try, we will never be competitive with someone who's biologically a man.
Your $19 monthly gift helps us boldly advance freedom in our generation and for generations to come. Build our legal team and expand our services. Defend more faithful Americans in courtrooms. Litigate more cases all the way to the Supreme Court. And ensure that no client ever pays a dime for us to defend them.
There's a growing movement to defend the reality that men and women are different, and women deserve fair and safe competition. ADF has been leading the charge in court, and the vast majority of the American people are with us.
It's time to restore fairness to women's sports, but we can't do it without the help of partners like you. Call now or go online to standwithadf.org and help defend freedom today.
The bathroom of your dreams is only a phone call away with BCI Bath & Shower. We can make your ordinary bath and shower extraordinary. This is not a cookie-cutter design. This is a complete custom build that will fit your every need, and discounts for seniors and military.
Hi, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Real America's Voice. Slick's going to do sports here in a second. Delgado's going to do some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Glad you're in. A couple different opinions from last night that I want to get to. One of them is from Victor Davis Hanson, who actually was on with Tucker, who I've not yet had a chance to sit down and actually watch Tucker's full live at the time, response to the State of the Union. But I know Victor Davis Hanson was on. I saw one clip of him on. Victor Davis Hanson wrote the following this morning. One angry Biden lie after another. A demagogic, fuming Biden gave another Phantom of the Opera speech blasting conservatives for all the destruction that he has caused and has resulted in his own historic unpopularity. All too aware that he was confused and incoherent, his handlers felt that the antidote was to come out barking and bellowing at his imaginary enemies. Any never-Trumper who would vote for such a screeching maniac must be suicidal. Joe of the Hunter Biden Family Consortium damned the money-grubbing rich who don't pay their fair share of taxes. All of this when his own son is now facing multiple felony counts for not paying any income tax at all. And Joe himself has received lots of family money without paying tax on such quote-unquote loan repayments. In truth, Biden gave the most livid State of the Union address in modern memory, a surreal teleprompted rant from a get-off-my-grass old man. At points, he started howling at the seated opposition and even called out the Supreme Court justices to their face. Determined not to reveal his cognitive decline, Biden instead came late to the podium, shouting nonstop, grimacing in reptilian style for over an hour. If the planned Adderall-fueled screaming was to prove he was still alive, most would have preferred his drowsy incoherence to what we got last night. Yeah. But mostly the speech was one of abject lies, as he either blamed all his disasters on others or claimed they were his greatest achievements. Getting to what he said about the deficit, why does he think we have high inflation and high interest rates after he took office? The debt was $28 trillion when he came in, and now just 3 years later, it is almost $35 trillion, and is now growing by $1 trillion every 100 days. At the current rate, a two-termed Biden presidency would have an aggregate of adding $22 trillion more to the national debt. Ukraine. Biden started out with Ukraine, not inflation, not the border, not crime. Does he remember he suspended military aid to Ukraine upon taking office? Does he know that Putin did not invade a neighboring country in just one administration of the last 4? Does he know why? Does he recall his humiliation in Afghanistan that green-lighted Putin in the first place? There are now 700,000 combined casualties in Ukraine, and so what is the plan to end another 6-month-long spring offensive against fortified lines? Abortion. Biden screamed that the Dobbs decision outlaws abortion and threatens women's lives when it allows any state to let its own people determine their own laws. Is Trump's plan to let the states decide and to favor a 16-week ban more sensible than Biden's abortion on demand that would allow some 5,000 to 10,000 partial birth or post-21-week abortions? On the border, do we remember Mayorkas bragging in detail how Biden rescinded all of Trump's executive orders? He listed them by name to destroy the border and let 10 million illegal aliens in. Biden campaigned, by the way, on just that, calling on illegal aliens to surge the border. Inflation. It's up 17% since he took office. Prices of the stuff of life have risen 30%. Staple foods, fuel, appliances, care, shelter, mortgages, etc. January 6th, in Biden land, a buffoonish afternoon riot now trumps Pearl Harbor. Or the 120 days of looting, rioting, violence, death, and injury of the summer of 2020, no problem. Gaza, basically Hamas murderers, rapes, tortures, and mutilates 1,200 Jews, takes 250 hostages, rapes and murders untold numbers of them, is shielded by civilians beneath mosques, schools, and hospitals. And then the U.S. blames Israel for retaliating, and now Biden cites bogus Hamas fatality figures and promises to build a U.S. port on the Gaza coast to pour in massive aid to Hamas-controlled Gaza. This furious speech was a preview of the 2024 campaign. The Democratic nominee will run on abortion, January 6th, and the booming, quote-unquote, economy. He will hope left-wing prosecutors can bankrupt or incarcerate Trump and ensure that in all the swing states, 70% of the electorate do not vote in person on Election Day. That's Victor Davis Hanson this morning. And to his last point, this is what I was saying last night. Mark Elias is out currently doing exactly the same stuff he's been doing, but this time he has the Department of Justice on his back, riding his coattails, trying to help him in any way he possibly can, so that the 11 million people that Biden has let in all get a little thing in the mail and just get to check one box for him and send it in. And then we'll do the rest from there. That is what they're doing. And especially after last night, they know they cannot win any kind of fair fight. They know they cannot win any kind of fair presentation of ideas, debating the ideas, and then letting the American people decide how their lives have been the last 3 years as opposed to what they were the 4 years before that and what they want the 4 years from now through to look like. Because they know if they do that, they lose maybe worse than 84. Or at least something that rivals that, you would think. If that's even possible anymore, maybe not. But a lot. They'll lose big time.
Bigly.
So they have to figure out how to steal it again because they know they can't win a straight-up fight.
Yeah, and now that and I saw the headline, I think it was on Citizen Free Press. I got to check that story out. But in California as well as other places, hey, the GOP is now embracing ballot harvesting. Well, there you go. Those are the rules. Play by the rules. Kick them in the teeth with their own rules and see how they like it. So that's the only way. That's the only way to play the game. If those are the rules of the game in that state, that's the rules you have to play by. Simple as that. And don't be nice about it.
And to think about this whole, we're going to build a port.
I know.
Is, like I said, the only time he ever brought it down a notch in volume when he was talking about Hamas last night killing Israelis. That's the only time his demeanor changed. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
And then it ramped right back up. But this administration has funded Iran to the tune of billions of dollars, which in turn has funded Hamas in this attack. He got caught on a hot mic last night, basically threatening the prime minister, basically saying that Bibi and him have to have a come to Jesus moment, or Bibi has to have a come to Jesus moment. Where did you see this? An aide had to come over and say, "Sir, you're on a hot mic."
I didn't see that. Do we have that? Oh my goodness! I want to see that.
I want to see.
He was talking to Senator I can't remember the guy's name, and Blinken was standing there, and he says, I said to Bibi that you got to have a come to Jesus meeting or something like that, and the aide walks over and says, "Sir, you're on a hot mic." And then he just moves forward. So he's basically threatening the Israeli prime minister. He's clearly already turned his back on him. Like I said, my long shot last night was from the river to the sea. Now, we didn't get that. But Biden's not too far away from it. He's worried about the Hamas caucus of his party. He's worried about what's going on in Dearbornistan and other places in Michigan and places like that. So yeah, we'll play that clip, but that's Victor David Sanson on what his thoughts were. A couple others coming up. Sports and news next, live from Studio 6B on a Friday.
Dinner al fresco. All worries forgotten. Broken fridge with food that is rotten. Birthday cake for everyone. This blown fuse is no fun. Getting him to brush is no longer a chore. The sink is overflowing onto the floor. Luckily, American Home Shield is there to fix or replace covered parts of appliances and home systems to help you stay on course and budget. Protect what you don't expect. Sign up today at ahs.com.
Here at Allegiance Flag Supply, we grew sick and tired of flying flags that were made overseas, flags that would rip and tear easily, so we really made a commitment to quality. All of our flags are finished with bar tacking at all of the stress points, and they are sewn using double needle lock stitching.
All of our flags materials are sourced in America, and they are made by American seamstresses. So we're American made from beginning to end.
Shop now at showallegiance.com.
Your wallet is always in danger. Criminals can scan and hack your information without you even knowing. Worse yet, it's bulky and so disorganized. But not anymore, because Slim is in. Introducing Slim Mint, an ultra-thin RFID blocking wallet that keeps your cards and cash truly protected. And now may be your last chance to get it for a low price. Slim Mint uses the latest RFID blocking technology to prevent thieves from scanning your wallet and stealing your info.
Having your information stolen is a nightmare, but with Slim Mint, I know I'm protected.
With money clips, cash can easily fall out, but with the auto-locking Slim Mint, your cards and money stay securely in place. Then just press the button to release the lock. Slim Mint is ergonomically designed to optimize space and keep your belongings organized. It has a built-in cash clip and a flexible outer band to securely fit your additional cards and your extra cash. Even with everything you see here in the Slim Mint, it's still ultra-thin. Bulky wallets are uncomfortable, but the Slim Mint is so compact it fits in any size pocket. Plus, it keeps everything easy to access.
Slim Mint holds everything from pictures to credit cards, my driver's license. Yeah, it's still so thin.
Say bye-bye to bent cards and damaged magnetic strips. Slim Mint keeps them protected. It's crush resistant and can really take a beating. Similar wallets sell for over $100. But call or click now and get Slim Mint for just $29.99. Order in the next 5 minutes and you'll get an instant $10 discount. So it's only $19.99. But wait, do Due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get Slim Mint at this low price. There's a strict limit of 3 Slim Mint wallets while supplies last. You still have time to get your very own Slim Mint wallets, but you must act fast. Don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-608-6630. That's 1-800-608-6630. Call or visit slimmintwallet.com. So call 1-800-608-6630 now.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Glad you're in. Rick Delgado's going to do some news here in a second. Aaron Fran holding it down, but let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B if you're going to shop and support MyPillow and Mike Lindell. Of course, all the great stuff. You know what they've got over there, from slippers to shoes to pillows to mattresses to mattress toppers to towels to everything that Mike sells. Great stuff. If you use LFS6B at checkout, it'll save you up to 60% off. And, of course, you can get our shirt of the month absolutely free. As a bonus for using the code, all you have to do is forward that MyPillow confirmation email that you get from Mike once you make your purchase that shows you used the code. Forward it to us and tell us what size you are, and we'll send you out the March shirt of the month. Absolutely free. Slick Rick, what's going on in sports?
Well, it's Friday night. Where are we going to go?
To the rodeo.
Here we go. NRG Stadium. Rodeo Houston, Big D. One of the big daddies of the rodeo season. And it's rolling right through. Go to St. Patrick's Day next Sunday. So you don't want to miss that. Right now, we're all the way in Super Series 4 as they climb through here. And we're going to get to bareback riding round 1. Here we go. Come on, Rick. Hold on to your saddle. Donnie Profit, 82 points on Survey Championship Rodeos. The Liberator. Steer Wrestling, we have a tie. Blake Knowles and Tucker Allen, 4.4 seconds. Team Roping, Cole Thomas and Matt Sheik, 5.6 seconds. Saddle Bronc, we have another tie. Houston Brown, what a name for the Houston Rodeo. On Calgary Stampede's Daunting News, which we get every day. And Ben Anderson on Calgary Stampede's Welcome Delivery, which we don't get every day, 85 points. Tie Down Roping, Riley Pruitt, 8.7 seconds. Bauer Racing, Halen Lyde, 14.71 tenths. She ain't lying about that. Bull Riding, here we go. Trey Kimsey, 83.5 points on Survey Championship Rodeos. Keep Talking, that one's for you, Big D. And total payout on the rodeo, $1,980,000. Oh, you think that's funny, Delgado? I think it's well, when you host the show, it's the same deal, so it doesn't matter.
Shut up.
Hey.
Funny how that works.
Well, here we go, Big D. Well, speaking of State of the Moron from last night, we got this one here. Ties right into what we're talking about. USC coach Lincoln Riley's name blows up on social media after Biden so too blunder there. Here we go. We got Warner Todd Houston there, State of the Onion. Trojans coach Lincoln Riley's name blew up on social media, of course, Thursday evening during the State of the Union address after President Joe Biden botched his attempt to say the name of Laken Riley. A little different, right? The Georgia woman who was murdered by an illegal alien on the campus of the University of Georgia. Coach Riley's name came up when Joe Biden tried to say Laken Riley's name, but instead blurted out Lincoln Riley after Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene demanded from the gallery that Biden say her name. He didn't say her name. He said Coach Lincoln Riley's name instead. Oddly, Biden tried to deflect the fact that an illegal alien murdered Laken Riley by saying, but how many of thousands of people being killed by legals? I mean,
he doesn't know what the hell he was saying.
Unbelievable. Worse, Biden then tried. Well, then he tried to conflate his loss of his son to cancer to the Riley's family's loss. We heard that of the Laken murderer, and
he
said,
always does that.
My heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. Just unbelievable. I tried to sweep that under the rug, so wanted to get that in. Of course, you know, the commander and the thief here. And let's see, what do you got? Anything else? Well, let me get to this one, Big D. Large number of fans who suffered frostbite at Chiefs-Dolphins game need amputations. That's not good.
What?
Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Yeah, broke earlier today. Roughly 70% of the fans referred to a Kansas City burn center for treatment for frostbite following the Dolphins-Chiefs playoff game in January now require amputations. That grim grim news comes from the director of the Grossman Burn Center at Research Medical Center, Dr. Megan Garcia. People think of burns, they think of fire, they think of hot thermal injuries, but burns can happen from many different causes, Garcia explained. The Chiefs-Dolphins game on January 13th was the fourth coldest game in NFL history. Official temps registered at -4 degrees. However, the wind chill was -27. The patients who had their frostbite injuries along with the Chiefs game, they are just getting to the point now we are starting to discuss their amputations that might be necessary, Garcia said. Garcia says that even 30% of patients who are not advised to undergo amputation will have lifelong implications from the bitter cold. It's still a lifelong process. They'll have sensitivity and pain for the rest of their lives and always be more susceptible to frostbite in the future. So we are also educating them to make sure they stay warm for the years and months to come, Garcia said. Garcia says the total number of amputees from the game could vary. In just this cold spell we've been having, I've seen multiple patients that will likely require amputation 5 to 6 weeks from now. Garcia told Fox 4 in January, I imagine I'll be somewhere between 10 and 20 amputations at this point. So, wow, that's really sobering news to hear that from the game. I mean, I know fans, they go to these games, they weather the storm, right? Usually a lot of them have the brewskis in them, so, you kind of don't feel from the adrenaline, you don't really feel what's going on. But, wow, what a terrible, terrible story. So I wanted to get that in there, and that's a wrap in sports, Big D.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B. Speaking of other sobering news, and I'm just going to throw it out there so that we're aware of it, because Emerson polling, you look back on 22, 2018, has been one of the more accurate polling outfits if you followed them throughout these election seasons. As of this morning, their 2024 generic congressional ballot right now is Democrats 45, Republicans 43, plus 2. And on the presidential, they have Biden 51, Trump 49, Biden plus 2 as well. So anybody that tells you that we're going to walk into November with these big leads, it's just not. I just don't think, again, there's one team playing with brass knuckles, and they're on the move right now. They're on the move right now to make sure that they can lock this thing up. And I know the RNC now has a new leader today, and I know that Laura Trump is now part of it. Mm-hmm. And I guess we'll see what happens there. The president's financial woes continue to stack up as he had to post a $96.1 million bond on his E. Jane Carroll appeal. He's got a $400 and something million bond pending, I guess, that he's got to put up on the New York nonsense. So they're in full brass knuckles mode on every level in all states, on the move. And the RNC is, I'm not exactly sure where, seemingly nowhere in any state, certainly not on the move that I can tell. Now, I know leadership goes in now today. We'll see what happens. But anybody who's thinking, we're just going to roll right into November and here we go, everything's going to be better, is not paying attention. So, all right, let's do some news. And here with the news is Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by our friends at 7 Cells, 7cells.com. Check them out. Great stuff for your health, for your skin, all kinds of good stuff. Use our code 20% off. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, of course, the big news last night being the State of the Union, but also a lot of news was being generated by the GOP response, which, some people had some creative things to say, including this coming from the New York Times, something I never read. Katie Britt, with a smile and a fierce glare delivers the GOP response to President Biden. The Alabama Senator, 42, who has been floated as a possible running mate, hopefully not anymore, for Donald Trump, gave a tonally jarring speech that toggled between strained cheerfulness and ominous warnings. I'm not gonna disagree with them on that part so far. With a sunny and inviting smile, Senator Britt of Alabama welcomed Americans into her kitchen on a Thursday night, but many soon backed away nervously. And nervously is a good way of kind of describing how we were feeling in here. In the Republican Party official response to the President's Biden State of the Union, Ms. Britt delivered a jarring speech Yeah, they just repeated the same thing. She has been seen as a rising Republican star and floated as a possible running mate, but in the biggest moment of her fledgling political career, she delivered a tonally uneven speech that was made more unusual by the setting of her own house in Montgomery, Alabama. You know what? I don't think the setting really had much to do with it. It was the speech. It wasn't even so much what she was saying. It was how she said it. If you want a little piece of it, if you missed it, if you didn't stay up late to check it out, here we go with, let's see. Let me see. Katie, cut number 2. This is Katie Britt. This is, what was it, about 20, 25 minutes or so she was on? Because I had to leave during it because I had to get up for work early. But here's cut number 2. Listen for yourself. Here's a clip.
Mr. President, enough is enough. Innocent Americans are dying, and you only have yourself to blame. Fulfill your oath of office. Reverse your policies. End this crisis and stop the suffering.
Now, who does that remind me of? Cut number 3, maybe?
People are suffering.
Oh, my goodness.
People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Yes. How dare you?
Oh,
and that's what we were treated to. I feel like that's what we were treated to. A worrying mom voice, Greta Thunberg version, coming from Katie Britt, who, you know what, may be a nice enough lady. Hopefully she votes, exactly how we want her to. But I'm going to say she belongs on the bench for a little while longer. I don't think she's ready for prime time there, Damon. What about you?
My feelings on it haven't changed. I think in a different time, in a different place, it could have been a fine response. I just think that whoever was handling her and that, once they saw what was going on in the hall with Biden, I just think you have to adapt. I just think you have to adapt, or you have to change something, or think about this a little differently, or just say, hey, listen, don't speak to them like, you're speaking to your 7th grader who stayed out past curfew or whatever. Right. I mean, I just think you need a little more of a direct message to the American people based on what we just saw in the hall. The whole affectation was just not just wrong. Again, I think just wrong person at the wrong time. Could be right person at another time.
Right. That's what I said.
Last night, it just wasn't the
terrible.
It just was. I don't know. It just didn't work for me whatsoever. And that's not to say anything about. I don't know much about her. I've seen some things on her actually, and she's been on. What's funny is somebody had put together a before she gave it. They said, they were kind of like introducing her, like Katie Britt's going to give that, and they had a video montage of her.
Okay.
And if you watch it on these committees, she doesn't talk like that at all. Like, not at all. When I watched it, I was like, yeah, that's the woman I remember watching, thinking, oh, she's pretty fire, this woman.
Right.
When you see her on these committees, I have no idea what that was last night. I have no idea.
That sounded to me like someone that was reading a prompter for the first time that's never really done it.
I mean, it could be partly that. It could have been that.
It reminded me of a little bit like This Is Your PTA President. It also reminded me of years ago, a lot of the older folks will remember Romper Room. And she used to hold up this magic like mirror and say, I see Damon and Ricky and Billy and Erin. And you used to wait to hear your name called. That's what she reminded me of, like a preschool teacher. It's terrible. You don't speak to the public like that.
Yeah, it was just bad.
So it was not fine.
It was just bad. And there's nothing like she sounds, at least when I've seen her on these committees. I mean, imagine Trump giving the response. Matt Gaetz, Mike Lee,
Tim Burchett.
I see Joanne of Ohio. I see Steph 44. I see Hammer Chuck. I see us all. There we go. Pyro Fritz.
It's about the truth. It's about a fair playing field and fair opportunities.
I know that I'm not the only girl who has missed out on opportunities. There are countless other girls.
It's about biological reality and common sense, and ultimately, it's about the rights of women being trampled.
It's not just that girls are able to compete in athletics, it's that girls are able to go to college. If I didn't have the scholarship I had, I wouldn't be going to the school I'm going to.
Rewriting our laws to ignore the truth of what it means to be male and female has consequences beyond a single issue. Female athletes, parents, healthcare providers are under threat by institutions enforcing this radical gender ideology.
When biological differences between men and women are ignored, it is women who suffer the most. Alliance Defending Freedom is leading the fight to protect women's sports, but to continue, we need the help of friends like you. For just $19 a month, you can join ADF's Frontline for Freedom. As a Frontline for Freedom partner, your $19 monthly gift will help Alliance Defending Freedom continue to protect the rights and opportunities of women and girls.
It's highly upsetting to realize that no matter how hard we train and how hard we try, we will never be competitive with someone who's biologically a man.
Your $19 monthly gift helps us boldly advance freedom in our generation and for generations to come. Build our legal team and expand our services. Defend more faithful Americans in courtrooms. Litigate more cases all the way to the Supreme Court. And ensure that no client ever pays a dime for us to defend them.
There's a growing movement to defend the reality that men and women are different, and women deserve fair and safe competition. ADF has been leading the charge in court, and the vast majority of the American people are with us.
It's time to restore fairness to women's sports, but we can't do it without the help of partners like you. Call now or go online to standwithadf.org and help defend freedom today.
The world's best pizza has been baked in ovens made of stone, but you can't put one of those on the countertop in your home. Introducing Paisano, the authentic pizza oven by Granite Stone. Now make the world's most delicious pizza with real stone right in your own home. You simply set it and let it make golden, crispy, extra cheesy stone-baked pies in under 6 minutes. The secret is the dual-controlled heat zones that quickly heat the real ceramic stone up to 800 degrees so you can stone bake just like the pros. Plus, there's no gas, wood, or charcoal needed. Paisano is electric, plug-in, and portable. You can get your Paisano pizza oven for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. And we're going to drop one payment. You get it all for just 3 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free.
Call 1-800-608-5604 or order online at buypaisano.com. Call now.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, 13 to the hour. We'll do some more news with Delgado here in a second. So here's Biden on the hot mic.
Oh, good.
With Buttigieg standing there. Anthony Blinken standing there, and then I can't think of this guy's name. I think he's from Utah or Colorado, somewhere out there. The senator he's speaking to, I believe. But here it is. Throw it up, Aaron. Here's Biden afterwards. See if you can hear it.
I was telling your secretary, I was in Jordan and Israel this weekend. We got to keep pushing through it on the humanitarian stuff and all this stuff. So.
I told him, baby, show me pizza. Baby, you know I should come to cheese. Sure, just that might go good. That was good.
We'll see it.
So I told Bibi he has to come to Jesus.
Whoa.
Dude, you're almost there.
Telling the Israeli prime minister that he has to come to Jesus.
Wow,
just think about the juxtaposition there.
The whole dynamic.
I mean, hello. I mean,
wow.
He kind of lives in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, it's true.
You had to tell him about that? Really?
Man, I told him, Bibi, and don't repeat this, but you and I are going to have a come to Jesus meeting. Is the exact transcript of what he said there.
Wow.
Insane.
I'm sure they didn't miss that.
So, all right, let's do some more news, and here with that is Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, looks like they're trying to rewrite or at least erase more American history. This one coming out of Fox News. Virginia, actually a VA official who tried to ban the iconic World War II kissing photo You may remember this one. Pop that up on your screen for everybody. There you go. One of the iconic images of World War II, the end of World War II anyway. Oh, yeah. Well, turns out the person who's trying to ban this has a very sketchy history with the Veterans Department, a Veterans Department official who sent a since-rescinded memo calling for the removal of the iconic photo of a Navy sailor kissing a woman in Times Square has been the center of previous controversies in the past. Actually, Assistant Undersecretary for Health Operations, Rima Ann Nelson, sparked firestorms with her calls, and also calls for her to be fired last week when she sent a memo to VA employees calling for the historic photo of the Navy sailor kissing a woman in Times Square on VJ Day in 1945 to be removed from all VA medical buildings because it does not fit with the department's no-tolerance policy towards sexual harassment and assault. Does that look like sexual harassment and assault?
God, that's sick.
According to this woman, I guess any physical touching, because nobody probably wants to touch her, would be considered sexual harassment and assault. The incident is not the first time Nelson has been faced with scrutiny during her tenure at the VA. She's got a tattered past, this woman. Nelson has been appointed to the head of the Phoenix VA in 2016, which prompted outrage from then Democratic and now Senator Kristen Sinema, along with former Republican Representative Matt Salmon, who wrote a letter to then President Barack Obama calling for reconsideration of Nelson's appointment due to her previous tenure at the St. Louis VA hospital. You may remember St. Louis because that VA hospital was responsible for some of the worst atrocities heaped upon the men and women of the VA. To think that Miss Wilson, it says here, with her less than impressive past, is the best possible candidate to provide crucial leadership for the facility equated to ground zero of the VA scandal is unequivocally offensive to us and each of the veterans we represent. She served as director in St. Louis from 2009 to 2013 when veterans reportedly were exposed to HIV and hepatitis. This is reported from CNN. The staff, of course, was never trained on how to sterilize equipment. And according to a whistleblower, she was responsible for poor sanitation, contributing to many infections as well. According to a report from the Arizona Central, investigators followed up to see the problem had been addressed at the facility, and they had not. The Daily Caller reported that the conditions were so bad that veterans were left sitting in feces for days. So this woman, who's got a tattered past, I don't even know, oh, that's right, she's a Democrat, which is why she's still employed by the government, is still employed by the VA department, but hopefully not for much longer as calls for her removal are ramping up. So let's hope that sees the light of day.
You know, before you do the next story, Mike Davis makes a good point today on that hot mic issue. Yeah. He says, you know, Biden basically just disclosed highly classified discussion with a foreign leader who happens to be the leader of a key ally that's at war. This is classified information that's extremely valuable to people like Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran, which are waging war against Israel. Our enemies now know to just basically slug it out. Because Biden's turning. I mean, he's already turned, but he obviously is continuing to cave and kneel and bend the knee and submit. And he wants Bibi to do the same. So just another moment, and that's a great point by Mike Davis. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, he cracked, and then the stuff starts to just tumble out of the guy. Here's another one for you, and I know this is one we talked about yesterday. New York Attorney General Letitia James met with chorus of boos and Trump chants during an FDNY ceremony here in New York. New York Attorney General Letitia James was met with a chorus of boos and chants for Trump while delivering a speech at the FDNY promotion ceremony just yesterday. As James walked onto the podium at the Christian Cultural Center in Brooklyn's campus, members of the crowd made up of the families of the captains, battalion chiefs, and civilians who were there for promotion, as well as the firemen who worked beside them, began to jeer according to this video. Let's go to that video, cut number 1. Check it out for yourself.
Oh, come on. We're in a house of God. First,
I don't think that's
simmer
true.
down.
I don't know
I
where
want
they
to
were,
thank
but-
Commissioner Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
Love it.
Love it.
Give it to her.
They gave it to her.
They didn't want her there.
No, she got a very frosty reception from the FDNY, and for good reason.
Absolutely,
let's face it. It's Latina James. She's just a piece of dirt when it comes right down to it.
They don't let the door hit you, and you know what?
Yeah, exactly. So that's all for the news I got right now, Damon.
All right. Biden was asked earlier today if he was going to debate President Trump because one of his campaign managers, I think it was Tim Kaine from Virginia, said that he thinks that he should debate President Trump, that he should not forego the presidential debates, which would be. And Biden refused to commit to debating the Trump. He said on the tarmac when he was asked, he said, it depends.
On his depends.
Yeah. I don't know if it means on his depends or like if they can jack him up again like they did last night, if they've got to wait a certain amount of time before they do it or what.
If he prevails.
But, yeah, he said he would not commit to whether it's debating Trump. And if you're a handler of Joe Biden, I mean, how could you possibly think about putting him in that situation?
Right.
For an hour and a half.
Yep.
Three times.
You saw what happened at the State of the Union. He tried to, engage with the Republicans, when they were talking about the border deal, and he started to go off script. And if they would have kept pushing him, they could have gotten him to really crack. And believe me, Trump has a way of pushing people till they crack.
Be like a flyweight boxer with a heavyweight champion getting in the ring. He'd maul him.
You would think. All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Hour 2 coming up right after this.
If you're ever down in Georgia around about July, if you ain't in a hurry, then you ought to stop by. I can guarantee that you're gonna have a ball learning how to do the watermelon crawl. Well, we got 100 gallons of sweet red wine made from the biggest watermelons on the vine. Help yourself to some, but obey the law. If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl. And do the watermelon crawl.
If losing weight has you frustrated, a group of doctors created a remarkable weight loss supplement called Lean, and it's very encouraging. The studied ingredients in Lean have been shown to help maintain healthy glucose levels, help burn fat by converting excess fat into energy, and reduce appetite so you eat less. If you've tried everything to lose weight, non-prescription Lean could be the answer you've been searching for.
Visit TakeLean.com and get 15% off with promo code TRIM at TakeLean.com.
We get it. Learning something new is hard, especially a new language. So make it easy on yourself with Babbel, the language learning app that teaches real-world conversation for any situation. Babbel is more than vocab memorization. It teaches practical phrases you'll actually use. Say auf Wiedersehen to I give up, au revoir to it's too hard, and hola to real conversations with real people in a new language. Ready to find your follow-through? Get Babbel. It starts here. Start learning today at Babbel.com.
Parents and grandparents, the 2024 Kids Guide to President Trump is here, and it's free. As a bonus, your child gets a free issue of Everbright Kids Magazine and Activity Book, and a free video lesson. Order now at freetrumpbundle.com. That's freetrumpbundle.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. If your employer doesn't supply health care coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private health care is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. To get the coverage you need, call the number on the screen now.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615.
Deplatforming works.
Tucker Carlson is now out.
There you go.
More than a dozen companies already blocking or restricting President Trump on their platform.
The Biden administration is built off of nothing but lies.
This is a total scam. You should be fired immediately.
They've been working to destroy our cities. They've been working to destroy our families.
We're not spending money to stop an invasion. We're spending to allow an invasion.
Feminism never believed in womanhood. It was making women more like men.
Deep state all out to get not just Trump, but really we the American people.
They're berserk trying to disarm Americans.
Hour 2 live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Slick Rick's doing sports. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Aaron Fran holding it down as always. What even is that? In case you missed it, since we usually do it tonight.
Yes.
And we kind of got a little off schedule because of Trump events and certain things we were covering. And then, of course, Super Tuesday and everything else. We just ended up doing it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're going to replay it here at the bottom of the hour at 9:30. So in case you missed What Even Is That and you're thinking, ooh, Friday night means What Even Is That?
Yeah.